All right, everybody's already getting started, but welcome to KindSoup. We're making tomato, white bean, and kale soup. And we're going to start with our onions, carrots, and celery. Hey, Marge. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. I need to go harvest some oregano. You have to give me a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Let me see what needs to go in at this point.
They also want some thyme if you have any, and parsley.
Of course. But the oregano is out in the back, so I have to go really out.
Okay. Lisa, you snuck in. Hi. How'd the weekend go?
You know, yeah, it was good to be together.
Good.
My aunt was 87 years old, so she lived a full life. Her kids weren't quite ready to let her go, but you know, it's not a choice. It's
Right.
It's what happens. Anyway, and then my cousin's husband was in a play, so I got to go see a small community play, which was excellent. And the next day,
what kind of play was it?
Shakespeare in the Trailer Park.
Oh my God, that must have been funny. Yeah.
It was excellent. The next day, my cousins hosted brunch and the director came.
Oh,
so it was really neat to hear from her optic and perspective on what happened. There was some drama behind the scenes, not just on the stage. So it was good. Can we make a plug for summer fun stuff?
Yeah.
To everyone on the Zoom, we've got summer fun stuff has kicked off. Today was the initial sort of get organized at the JCC. If you haven't looked at summer fun stuff, if you're not familiar with it, go to the Do Kind Works website and check it out. It's really a great project, and we're helping, I think, 10 different organizations this year. So
2,000 summer fun sacks they're looking to give away. So any help that anybody wants to provide on making that happen would be fantastic. In my community, we hosted a book swap yesterday, and two of the fantastic team members from the summer fun team came at the end and picked out probably 8 or 10 boxes of books. So those books will be going in the summer fun sacks. But there's a million different ways to help out. They need stuff for the sacks. They need sorters. The only problem with the sorting days is they're on Mondays.
Yeah.
So,
but you can also check out Summer Fun Stuff has a Zoom wish list. So the kinds of items that we would like to put in the sacks is listed there. Everything from bubbles and markers and crayons to coloring books to jump ropes. So we want to fill colorful sacks with things for children who don't go to camps like my son did, who don't have a chance to travel abroad for the summer like some of the children do. So it's a way for them to have fun, draw on the sidewalk, make pictures, do a few jumps, blow a few bubbles, maybe fill some quiet time with fun.
yep. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'll put it in the chat so they don't have to wade through that boring website, sarcasm, and find it. All right, well, I picked out this soup for us today and the next two because I was in kind of a bean and lemon and fresh herb kind of mood, and we didn't have any soups yet picked out for these 3 weeks, but let me just find this summer fun thing to put in the chat, and then I want to tell you guys about our next exciting cultural opportunity that we're going to have with KindSoups, and this one's a two-parter, so it's particularly exciting. Give me just a minute while you're doing your onions and whatever else. All right. All right, did you get it, Marge?
No, I didn't go outside yet. I was busy harvesting. I have parsley growing inside.
I
So
thought you
wanna
were
see what-
harvesting your wine. I don't see your wine glass.
Oh, please.
Oh,
What's wrong with you? Of course I have one.
Hannah's on. Hi, Hannah. All right, so here's the exciting thing I want to tell you all. Can you guys listen, even though you're half of you are at your stoves? Cheryl, Lisa, and Kelly. So there is a gentleman who was big in the county government for his whole career, and his wife works at NIH. And the two of them, or at least I think they're both from Cuba. I know he is from Cuba. And they travel and bring people. He teaches classes at Montgomery County about Cuban culture and history and maybe art. And he travels, he takes people to and from Cuba periodically, perhaps once or twice a year, or they used to before the pandemic. And anyway, I know him from when I was, the big PTA rep, I don't know. And so he is going to do a KindSoups with us, but he has his own ideas on how it's going to be done, of course, but they're fabulous. So what he really wants to do is chicken and rice, arroz con pollo, because that is like classic. And I said, it's going to be a lot to ask people to do. And we have quite a few vegetarians and vegans. I wonder if we couldn't do black beans also, like a Cuban black bean soup also. And he said, well, my wife and I, every year we cook a big casserole of the arroz con pollo, and we give it to my favorite underpaid and overworked and fabulous people in the county. So now he's luring me in, right? I'm like, okay, Roberto, who's that? And he said, the urban district workers in Silver Spring are the least paid, most underworked, fabulous people. What they do is keep the streets clean and the environment welcoming. They're like ambassadors that walk around Silver Spring, which is such a walkable city, right? That downtown part of Silver Spring. So he and his wife at the end of every year, as a holiday gesture, bring arroz con pollo to these folks who work at the urban district in Silver Spring. So what we have worked out, Roberto and I and Geraldine, his wife, is on May 22nd, we all will cook their recipe of Cuban rice and beans, and we'll freeze it, but we won't necessarily bring it to our old places that we are used to going. They're going to use up some of their freezer stuff on that week. And the following Saturday, a week and a half later on a Saturday, June 3rd, if you can put it on your calendar and be available from 4 to 5:30, we're going to cook with them arroz con pollo. So you'll have dinner on Monday before, rice and beans, and you'll have dinner on the Saturday afterwards, arroz con pollo. And then the urban district would love to get any of your extras of either or both of those things. So maybe if you don't want to do one, you'll do the other, or you can mix and match and do both. I'm going to do both. And I know it's a Saturday, and it hasn't been since the beginning of our KindSoups together when we used to cook on Saturdays. But if you want to, we'll be on the Zoom, and that's the plan. And then we'll going back to all of our normal places that we deliver to. But the urban district's very excited to get a mid-year treat. So. All right, it's all on the website. So when you have a chance to look it up. Thank you, Kelly. All right, so I've got my onions and carrots and celery and extra salt. I put in the garlic, and I just threw in the tomatoes and the broth and tomato paste. And I am going for the oreganos and potatoes. How's everyone doing?
Yeah. So how much salt do you think you added? Just guess.
You know what? I had the end of these big, huge salt crystals that I brought back from Iceland. So I keep doing pinches. I'm going to guess that so far I've put in a tablespoon and a half.
Okay.
But I made my own broth. So I don't have any salt in my broth. So if you're using one of those canned broths, don't salt that much till later.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
Yours is almost done. Did you try yours yet, Joyce?
Yes, it's
And
great.
it's
It
not
is-
too salty?
No, it's not too salty because I'm exactly the opposite. I tend to not put salt in. That's why I always ask you about the
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah.
And I use the better than whatever
Bouillon.
that,
Yeah.
better bouillon. And so I think I added about a tablespoon of salt, and it's fine. It's
Good.
fine. Yeah.
So everybody, Joyce has, she's not, she's being shy about her garden, but her garden must be interesting and beautiful enough that it was on the garden tour in Carderock today. Joyce, what do you
No.
have growing in your garden?
No, I'm not in Carderock. I'm in Bethesda.
Why do I keep thinking you're in Carderock?
Well, probably because I schlepped my soup to Marge, who does live in Carderock.
Where are you in Bethesda? Well, maybe you don't want to say. Well, don't give us the exact street address because I'm recording this, but about where are you?
Very close to Landon.
Okay. Oh, beautiful there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have azaleas all over the place in honor of Landon?
Look, I have a big garden.
Do you?
I have a very big, it gets bigger every year.
Do you want to
That's-
take us outside and show us?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no. But I don't buy annuals. I can't afford annuals. So I do a perennial garden.
Love that.
And I have a pandemic garden that literally was jungle until the pandemic. And I'm gradually filling that in with hellebores and you name it.
That's so fun.
I divide and then they come back every year.
That's
And so
so great.
trying to give interest that way.
Love that.
Yeah. But I always like plant exchanges because I'm a master gardener. So we like to trade plants.
Yeah.
Joyce, if you run out of space to work on, I'm your gal. I've got plenty of space. Should you want to or offer tutorials, I'm your gal.
Okay. July and August, I do not garden. So it all has to be done in the spring and then of course in the fall. So it works. It's a system.
All right. I even did a bouquet garni today. Did anybody else? No, look at you guys. You're all awesome. Wait, is that a coffee filter? And then how do you close it?
I used kitchen thyme.
That's
This.
brilliant.
That's what I'm going to do right now. This is my last one. I do it with chili too. When I put things in chili, I put the whole bouquet, the garni in there, and then pull it out at the end.
Brilliant. All right. Very good. You guys are really, it's so impressive. We were like such a bunch of lost souls 2.5 years ago. Look at us now. We're all like bouquet garneying. And what's the other one, Marge? Mise en place. We're mise en placing. That young man has gotten too busy at school for us. It's very sad. He'll be back. All right, I'm putting my potatoes in.
So of course I'm running way behind and just getting my ingredients out, but
We're happy you're here. You're getting your mise en place. Yeah.
I'm chopping onions. That's how,
Oh,
that's where I'm up.
yeah.
But with the rainbow drop off, should we change the website? I don't think we need to call her, right? We
I
can
mean,
change.
I haven't had any luck calling her, but until you agree to tell me what to do, I'm leaving it in your hands. You want me to?
Okay, well, I'm back from various visitors here, visiting other places. So tomorrow we can pursue it and change it because I
Yeah.
don't think we need to do that.
Okay, whatever you
Okay.
want. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's very tomatoey. Oh, maybe because I added the whole can of tomato paste instead of just the 4 tablespoons. My own fault. Who saves their tomato paste in little containers and who just puts it all in? You save, Kelly? Oh, everybody saves. I'm the only one who goes, "Ah."
I put it in a small Ziploc bag and freeze it. And then it's
Brilliant.
all just clip the end and squeeze it out. So,
Oh, like it's one of those pre-bought tubes. Brilliant.
I
Oh,
put mine all in.
You did, Julia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it in a baggie and flatten it and then sort of put it in smaller serving size. But then I lose it in the freezer and then start with a new can when I can't find it.
But 4 tablespoons, if you used a smaller can.
I
think-
did. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
too much
fine.
more than that. Well, my
It's not-
broth is very tomatoey, but maybe that'll be good. And I haven't put any of the beans or the kale in yet. And the potatoes just went in, so maybe it'll be good.
Well, I thought that mine was very liquidy, and then I thought, oh no, I still have to put in the kale and the this and the that, and I'm
Yeah, the
this is
last
cool.
3 things absorb a lot, right?
pulling my thyme leaves off and all that other stuff. After going in, I would have been back sooner, but while I was getting my oregano, I couldn't help but pull some of the weeds that David missed. I mean, he pulled so many and he turned the garden and all, but it's like, it's an endless battle.
Yeah.
Well, don't tell him he missed.
I'm sending it to him for Father's Day. I have this on record.
You can do that. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. How much time am I putting in? Do we know?
Let's see.
Does it say somewhere?
Nope, it says some.
Some. Okay,
Some
I'm putting-
sprigs of parsley and thyme.
okay, well, I'm cutting it up. I'm not.
Oh,
putting it
but
in.
wait, you're putting the leaves in, not in a bouquet. You're just putting it in.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
If you're gonna eat the soup, you might as well be healthy and get all of it and not mess around with dipping. and
There we
whatever.
go, Marge.
The only thing I was questioning is I think it said a bay leaf, and you know how I feel about bay leaves. It's like fishing, always my fishing.
Yeah.
Didn't it have bay leaves or
It
was that?
it does, but it tells you to put it in the bouquet, but you can't do that. You can put it in a coffee ground, in a coffee, what do you call it? The pin-
Oh, and I could put it in like a little tea container or
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay,
I'll have to think about it.
okay.
But no, I'm putting in whole, real thyme, including little stem pieces, although not a lot of those.
Oh, thyme isn't one I use. You do. I didn't know. I know I use cilantro and basil and what else, but thyme I didn't ever think of chopping up the stems. It's not too woody.
No, because they're very little. I mean, I don't know. Can you see? This is like, can
Yeah.
you see these?
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not, those are the ones I'm not putting in because I decided I kind of.
Hannah, how have you been?
I've been good. I have to
Good.
sign off at 6 because I co-facilitate a class.
Ah,
Um,
okay. On Zoom or are you back in the jail?
No, Zoom.
Zoom. Okay, but everything's good?
Yeah, it's wonderful here. We've got beautiful flowers in the park. It's really
Aw.
nice.
Good.
Been very nice.
All right. Nice to see you.
Likewise. I'm trying to get my soup done before 6.
Yeah, you got to rush. Sorry to take you away from that. Get
No,
back.
no, no, not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did everybody use curly parsley or what? I mean, parsley, kale, or what kind of kale did everyone use? Is everyone using?
Yeah, I have a curly.
Yeah. I
Whatever
use
comes in the
curly,
bag.
came in a bag.
Yeah.
I bought baby kale.
I
You
love
got
it.
what?
Baby
Showing
kale.
us
baby
all
kale.
up. I have to tell you what I got from my sister and brother-in-law for my birthday. You may remember a month or more ago, I slit this finger on a can just while I was busy doing everything.
Oh,
They bought me a can opener.
That takes the top off.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
really weird. I didn't know such a thing existed. I
Oh,
mean,
somebody else was doing one of those a few weeks ago. Was it you, Julia? Yeah, a few people have that. You're gonna love that, Marge. Have you tried it yet?
yeah, I mean, as soon as it arrived in the mail, Dad and I grabbed a can of tuna fish so we could open it. It's, we're opening, our mail comes at 7:00 at night. We've already had dinner. We're opening tuna fish. It's very funny.
That was a very thoughtful gift.
Yes, it was. And I'm going to open my cans. It takes so much longer though than a normal can,
Yeah.
a can opener. And also you have to remember where you started on the paper because it's hard to tell when you're finished opening the can. You sort of have to look around, you see the little dots. It's like, okay.
Wait, Julia's looking like she might have a little trick to
Well,
share with
if
you.
you do it long enough, you kind of feel it. You feel when you've gone around. You just sort of feel when it's done.
It like,
I mean,
it gets, the resistance is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it probably 10 or more years with this. So, you just kind of feel when it's done.
I thought I felt that on the second can of tomatoes, not on the first. Yeah, like I just passed it now and I didn't feel it yet. I don't think. I think I finished it. Yeah, I did. Oh. La la.
Ah, it's a beautiful thing. All the fingers are intact.
It also has, yes, it also has little tiny pliers that you use. I don't know if you can see me opening and closing them right here.
Yeah.
That's so you can pick the can off. You can't get the can top off otherwise.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. But I haven't cut my finger yet.
I love it.
Yes, but in fairness, in all the years that I've been cooking, this was the first time I sliced a finger. All those times your mother said, bye, Hannah. All the time she said, be careful, don't do this, don't do that. Well, she wasn't here to tell me. And I'm certainly not going to tell her I did this.
When's the next time you're going down there, Marge?
I don't know. I think my sister Jane is going soon. And my sister Amy's going first. When she gets back from Israel, she's going there. And then Jane is going after that. So it probably won't be until summertime.
Well, that's nice having two sisters to stagger your visits.
Yeah.
And you're lucky they're sisters because I've got 3 brothers and my brothers are great. They, we all pitch in and everybody's looking out for our parents together. And still, my mom was sitting at the dining room table last year and she said, my kids don't even want to visit me. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? When I needed you last year, you sent your brother down to be with me. So no matter how many good brothers I have, it's the daughter's job.
Yeah.
God.
For sure.
I would totally agree with that, Deb.
It's crazy, right?
Absolutely. I have 2 brothers and it's the same thing. My dad is like, they both live in the same town and they're both there a lot, but it's always about me. Like I'm his person.
Right. All right. We've got each other's backs, Kelly. We won't bitch to our parents. We'll bitch to each other.
Not easy having all knucklehead brothers, but well, they're not knuckleheads, but my parents must think they are apparently. I'm like, what about your sons?
About that generation that just thinks it's the daughter's job, and
it is that. I think that's a lot of it. It's like, because it's, the things he relies on me is women's work.
Not anymore, Dad. Yes. Yeah.
It's like, my brother's a much better cook than I am. So yeah, it's like, but it's definitely, I think it's a lot of that, that generational sort of gender biases and, since my mother passed away, he refuses to learn how to cook anything. Like he can microwave and he can make eggs and
Yeah,
everything else. Yes.
somebody's got to do. Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
hard. Where's he live, Kelly?
He lives in Towson. Yeah, like about an hour and 15 minutes from here.
Mhm.
So it's not that far, but it's, I mean, I always remind him, just the journey is more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
I got to drive here an hour and a half in the morning, and I got to drive an hour and 10 home.
Yeah.
And then there's the part in between where we visit, and I do have like my own family. So it's not like he doesn't think like I'm 10 minutes away,
Right.
and so you do your best.
Yep.
He gets a lot of soup. He's one of my like regular recipients.
Good,
One quart always goes to him.
I
Unless it's
bet.
something that I know. That's the other thing. He's so stuck in what he'll eat that a lot of these soups, like I would bring it there, he would never eat it. It would just
Yeah.
be wasted. So I just
Yeah.
don't bring it.
The more ethnic ones, or which ones wouldn't you?
Yeah, anything, yes. And even like,
Yeah.
I mean, even like the butternut squash and curry isn't really even that. He wouldn't like, I don't like squash, I don't like curry, like, bring me some stew. It's like, I don't
know.
cook stew, Dad.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to my mother the other day and she said, "What soup are you making next?" And I said, "Oh, tomato, white bean, kale." She interrupted me at the beginning of that and she goes, "Ooh, tomato." And I said, "Yeah, and white bean and kale." And she goes, "Yeah, no." It's like,
Yes.
Mom, it's like tomato soup. That's it.
That's a good, right. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did go last week though, and I went to the store and I bought stew meat and I came home and made stew in the crock pot that my family wouldn't even eat, but I just made him this huge thing of stew and
And he
took it
loved
to him
it.
because sometimes I just make him something that's, that we're not even, there's not a twofer in it. I just will make it for him.
Hopefully he can freeze all kinds of little containers of that stew and have it forever.
I use, of course, I take it in the little containers and label it, just like we do with soups. I do that with my dad and I like stock them in his freezer.
Good.
Then I have to remind him that they're there.
Yeah.
There's a little of that going on too.
That's fun. Oh,
Okay. He's almost 90, so we'll give him a break.
absolutely. Does he ever come and stay with you, or it's too close?
He used to a lot, but he is driving only like really locally now. I wouldn't even like, I would never want him to come. And so I've offered to come and get him and bring him here for a few days.
Yeah.
But he's kind of, when my kids were little, my mom and him came here and stayed all the time. We have a guest bedroom and they just like took it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not really interested in doing that now.
Yeah. I
So,
find that so surprising. I don't know if your dad's the same way, but my parents also used to come and stay, and they were part of my kids' lives when they
Yeah.
were younger. And they just do not want to come up here and be part of the family's routine anymore. It's just not.
are
what
they in
want.
Florida? Where are they?
Yeah, they're in Florida. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you got going on down there? You're bored to tears there, and we're all working. So why not come up here?
I think it's that when they, I don't know how old your parents are, but I think it is the whole travel piece is really overwhelming now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. They're
Yeah.
a little older than your parents, actually.
Oh, they are?
My mom is
90?
Yes, yes. My mom is turning 90 this year, I think, and my dad is 92 or 3 this
Oh
year.
yeah, that's for sure. It like Florida to here is like, you might as well be going to Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband's mother's 97.
Wow, where's she live?
Well, we just moved her. This was one of the reasons I've been out of pocket. We were in the process of getting her moved. She was in Grand Oaks next to Sibley.
Yeah.
And now we just moved her to the villages at Rockville, or the village at Rockville. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it's a lovely facility.
Oh,
If
good.
anyone's ever looking, we're super happy with it so far.
Great.
She just, really needed more than assisted living at this point.
Yeah. Oh, good, good. And she wasn't resisting moving?
No, she would have if it were 2 years ago, but she's just weakened now to the point where she's not resisting anything. She resisted everything
Until 2 years ago.
until about 2 years ago, and now she resists nothing. Yeah, she's just you get far enough on the curve.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice that everybody's close by, though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's hard when you've got kids, the sandwich generation. We are the sandwich generation,
Yeah.
with the parents and the kids. So
It is hard.
the new society.
Yes. And soup helps. Soup, having soup in the freezer is a good thing when you're sandwiched. All right, I am putting in my kale. How's everybody doing? What do you guys think? It says to put the kale in, cook it, and then just add the beans in the last 5 minutes. I don't see any reason not to cook the beans for the full 15 minutes with the kale and let them just absorb that, right? What do I care if they get a little mushier, right? All right, I'm going to take those nods and I'm going for it. Oh, now it looks like soup. Now I'm loving it. Mm. Especially ground pepper. Salt and pepper. Mm. Well, I'm done. So who wants to have a glass of wine with me? Cheers, Joyce. Here's to you.
And to you.
Thank you so much. It's not a lot of work, is it?
Mm-mm.
All right, we're making lemon and rice next week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm like into the herbs and the lemons, I'm thinking. Let's do a few of
Great.
those.
Four.
Put Parmesan rinds in my bouquet garni.
Yes,
I'm
Ooh.
excited about it. You did, Lisa?
I did too. And that, yeah, I was just going to say, if you use the Parmesan rinds. to
You're
put
not vegetarian.
dairy,
Yeah.
contains dairy.
I did that and I feel sad because God, how little dairy is in a soup that all you did was put
Yeah.
Parmesan rind and take it out. But I did, I put it on the label, but I feel badly like cutting some people out of that one.
But it's still vegetarian, it's not vegan.
Right, I said vegetarian contains dairy, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. I know. Oh, well.
Do you feel like that rind makes a significant difference?
You know, I didn't use it last time, but I
Yeah.
wanted to try it this time. Lisa, are you at the point where you already know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wonderful. I could smell the Parmesan rind
Oh,
as it's
yeah.
simmering. And it
Oh.
really is, I think it just gives an underlying flavor and richness to the soup.
I wish I had one. What if you threw Parmesan in there?
Well, you
Well, you
totally
can do that at
can.
the end, yeah, to
Yeah, at the end.
stir it in, yeah.
I might do that. And
Lisa, did you just put one rind in that whole big pot of soup?
You mean 2 big pots of soup, because I'm like Stregonona. The stuff keeps getting higher and higher in the level. I had small chunks of rind
Mhm.
and I added some to each pot, which I'm now on my fishing expedition.
Fun, very fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Lisa, I wanted to talk to you about pots. Lisa?
Okay, talk to me about pots.
So someone gave me a soup pot, and I don't know if it's larger than yours or not. I'll pour in water and see how much is really in there.
Okay.
Okay, because I
Sure.
thought maybe I'll give it to you, and then, if I don't give it to you, I can give it to, I don't know, some of the settlement.
Right,
stuff.
exactly, the house setups.
Right, exactly. It's not as large as mine, I know that, but it may be larger than yours. Large enough that a lot of soups would go. And Deb, I wanted to talk to you about red lentil soup.
About what?
Red lentil soup.
Okay.
So all the synagogues made red lentil soup last week or this week.
Yeah.
This is a great soup.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't made that as a group, have we?
Yes. Turkish red lentil soup. Maybe twice.
We made it twice. Okay, I've lost track of what we've made.
I think Alexa, if you want, I can find it for you and send you the recipe. I think Alexa first introduced it to us sometime in 2022.
Okay.
But let me know and I'll find it for you, Marge, the original, if you want.
It is such an excellent soup. It is like incredible. It has been vetted by a woman from Turkey who thought it was absolutely fantastic, the best lentil soup she'd ever had. I don't know, maybe she's just eating Campbell's, but nonetheless, she seemed to really enjoy it. And when I was out in Fargo visiting Joseph and his extended Fargonian family, I made dinner for them and made the red lentil soup because his girlfriend's mom broke her left wrist and fractured her right hand. So.
Why? Sounds terrible.
Yeah, she was actually here in DC and was sightseeing with her son, tripped on a sidewalk, and yeah.
That's
so
terrible.
back to Fargo, and all the x-rays showed serious break in the wrist on the left hand. She had 2 metal plates put in and a fracture on the pinky side of her right hand. So they just made a splint for that. So she was sort of out for the count for a while. So I had the opportunity to go grocery shopping and cook dinner the Friday night I was there. And then I did another dinner on the Monday night I was there before I left.
Okay, that was very good of you. And now you can say how I spent my Easter vacation, whatever.
But Lisa told me before she was prepared. She came with with sackets of the spices that she would need to make all this. Like I told her,
I took the red. I measured out the red lentils. I took the red lentils. I took the spices. I had everything ready to go.
Did you get stopped by the TSA people?
No, it was in my suitcase. I would not carry anything like that on person.
Really?
My potatoes are taking a while to cook.
How big did you cut them up?
Cubed them. I don't know.
I dice mine so small, so I never have to worry about it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, mine may not be as small as yours.
Won't take long. All right, I'm
Yeah.
putting Cuban recipes in the chat in case anybody wants to see if that interests them. I hope it does. It'll be fun to do something a little different and get to know a different soup recipient. So they're in there now. You're right. Not even mine aren't, my little ones aren't even done yet, Julia.
Yeah, I tasted one. I took one out and tasted it. It was a little too crunchy.
Mine too. And I thought mine was so tiny. So, all right. It's still early. The night is still young, as they say.
Yeah, and my husband's not home yet, so I still have time to feed him dinner.
Oh, good. Where does he work?
Well, he works, I mean, he's retired, but he went out to meet some friends for drinks, so he's still, we still have time.
What was his career? What did he do?
He's an attorney.
Uh-huh.
And he's actually doing some pro bono work from here, from home. And he's actually still finishing up some one or two cases through his firm.
Oh, is he very recently retired, huh?
Yeah, for last July.
Oh, wow. How's that been for everybody?
It's been good and interesting. I mean, the nice thing is that we can do some travel, so that, see our kids and Denver, Boston, that kind of thing.
You have good locations, which is really fun.
We do.
Yeah, good. Oh, no. Now you just reminded me, when you traveled last, you had that disaster at home. Everything calmed down and good?
Yeah, I mean, the Montgomery County Police, of course, they were, they caught them. No, they didn't. Nothing happened.
No.
We haven't heard.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All your stuff is gone. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no, I mean, the funniest thing that happened is, the day or two after it happened, after I got back, they asked me to provide a list of everything I could remember that had been stolen. And, it was a lot of everyday jewelry, and I remembered as best I could. And I provided them a list.
Mhm.
And 3 weeks later, the detective emailed me or texted me, and he said, "Do you have that list for me?" And I said, I gave it to you. And I thought to myself, okay, if you're asking me now, that means that in 3 weeks you haven't done a darn thing.
Right. Now I'm just getting ready for Julia's list. You got it over there?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking, okay, the guy is just long, the stuff is long gone through the pawn shops, through everything. And I knew at that point just not to hope for anything.
All right. But it didn't depress you. You're like, all right, fine. We're all good. It's fine. It's over.
We're all good. And we have, we're still, I mean, my husband and I make decisions very slowly. So we're still deciding on an alarm system, whether we're going to get one or not. And but we did put in some landscape lighting. We're in the process of doing that because the whole house won't look, I think our backyard looked very deserted.
Yeah.
And our front yard. And, simple things like we didn't even have timers in the house. I mean, I think. Yeah.
Lighting timers. But I also think I may have mentioned this to you before, but I'm mentioning it again in case I didn't. You just get one of those ADT signs and put it out front. Even while you're deciding, just do it,
Right. Signs and, and we don't have a safe. So we're going to get one of those too. So, I mean, just simple things you can do to make things safer around here.
Good. Okay, good.
We just had, I think we were lulled because of the pandemic. We were here so much.
Yes, yeah.
So.
And you,
anyway.
you never had a dog, do you? Did
No,
you?
we have two dogs.
Oh,
So
you do?
day to day, I think it's not an issue, but when we went, the dogs were in boarding and no one was here.
Yeah,
And it was the first time in 5 years.
right, right. They've been watching you for 5 years. They're gone. You won't believe it.
Finally, it looks like a hot house. I need this place. I need everything inside. Meanwhile, I still need a dog. We're looking for a dog, people,
What kind?
preferably a dachshund or something kind of in that range. I mean, my daughter said to me, though, about a week ago, oh, you'd get another dachshund? I don't want another dog that looks like Levi. It'll be too hard. And I said, no, it won't. It really honors the dog. He was a great little guy. We
Yeah.
really, really liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I would do that or some small doodly type dog or, you know.
We have 2 mini golden doodles.
Oh, really? Where did you get them?
We got both, I mean, both from breeders.
Uh-huh.
Um,
No, yeah. I looked at a site today that had mini Bernedoodles and mini sheepdoodles. And I thought, how in the world, what is this? It's like a toy poodle with a Bernese mountain dog. It was like, how did you make those?
they do all kinds of interesting things these days.
Well, there were dachshund doodles too. I mean, I'd like to, but they call them doodle docs or doxadoodles, or I don't know what they call them.
Fun names, but I'd like to see a picture.
Yeah, well, I'm
too.
sure you know, you can Google it and find it. But yeah, I mean, I'm very upset. My husband is still in mourning, but he's getting much better than he was. So I've continued to go and look. Well, I went this weekend, but I
this is-
looked.
Oh,
my
it's so
God,
cute.
Oh, that's a beautiful baby.
This is
Oh.
one of mine.
Oh,
How much does he weigh?
He weighs 35.
Wow, that's big.
He's my chunky one.
Oh, okay.
My
How-
other one, my
Yeah.
other one weighs 28.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep it 25 or under. You know, once Levi had back surgery, which was about 9 or 10 years ago, we had to then start carrying him up and down stairs. And quite frankly, those of us who are still recovering from shoulder surgery don't want to have to. Oh, how pretty. That's a real apricot one. That was very pretty.
Yeah.
Not only that, Marge, but if you travel, if they're under 25 pounds, you can take them on the plane. That's the other advantage of the
That's true. Yeah.
smaller guys. Julia, can I ask you a question about back to the robbery for just a minute? Did you have a ring bell?
No, so we're considering getting a whole
Yeah.
ring system. And you can, I've been on their website and looking, you can actually put, you know, I mean, do all kinds of things with ring, but, you know, I think it would be probably a good thing to do.
I have a ring system. I have a ring bell in my front, and then I have stick up cams. I have one in the back and I have one by my garage. And I like when we go away, no matter where we go, even when I was in Mexico, the ring bell went off. Like I can see who's at my door all the time or who's coming into my back gate, come down by the garage. Like I feel like it's about as good as you know, if like with the security, the bottom line is somebody wants to get in, they can get in. But the nice thing about the ring bell is that, you know, it alerts you right at that moment. And, you know, there's no like interface with waiting for the, you know, that has to go to the police go to the fire department comes to your house. Like the ring bell, you just call 911 and say, someone's breaking into my house.
Right.
And you can be doing that from, you know, wherever you are.
Right.
So I like it. And it was not a, you know, it's a very inexpensive, like my house had a security alarm system, which would go off at weird times in the middle of the night or every time we went away, it seemed like the stinking thing went off and there's nobody here. And it, you know, it drove me nuts. So I got rid of it and got the ring thing. And I have been so much happier with it. I've had it probably like 6 or 7 years.
that is great to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what like a week ago, I said to my husband, I really think we should just do ring because I think that will probably it doesn't cost, we've had some estimates from like professional companies and it's really expensive. And then every month you pay this pretty extensive fee. And
it's a lot.
we don't want to be roped into that forever, you know, because, you know, anyway. So Yeah.
I feel like I said, I've done it both ways, and I'm happy with the ring bell system that I was with the fancy ADP system. And I mean, even while you're thinking about it, you know, it's like maybe a $500 investment to get all the pieces while you think about it. You know, even if it's like, you could try it out for a year, say, and see, and then if you want to, you could still get the other system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not.
So you don't even pay the fee to them to monitor?
No, because you could do like an upgrade. There's like a premium package, and I don't even know I don't even pay for it. I don't even have that. I just have the absolute most basic thing. The hardest part about it is remembering to charge it. And so I have to remember as my sort of like pre-departure checklist, because inevitably it will run out while you're away. And that's happened to me several times. So I try to charge all 3 pieces, which is super easy to do, to pull the battery out. It comes with its own cord. You charge it with your USB charger, and then, you know, pop it back in. So yeah, I think it's like such a great invention. It's probably even better than the one I have is probably a dinosaur now. I think they've probably come a long way, but the little stick-up cams hook into the main system. The main one on your front door is your base, and then the other 2 are like satellites, you know, and they hook into the system. And so if you don't want to pay whatever the monthly premium is, you don't have to. You just have the basic service.
But it hooks wirelessly, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to. Oh, that's so
It's an
much
app on your
easier.
phone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's much easier.
So Kelly, is there a monthly premium for the basic doorbell piece as well?
No.
Or just for the cameras in the back?
There's there's no monthly fee for anything. I just literally bought the system and hooked it up and downloaded the app onto my phone. And I've never paid another dime since then.
So does it make you crazy if there are like deer wandering across your backyard and it sets off?
Yeah,
the
it's like when
camera?
my lawn guys are here and it goes off every time they cross the front door. I just turn it off. You can turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
You know, but like when my kids are home in the summer and they're out at night,
Yeah.
I like to hear, you know, I hear the ring bell when someone pulls them down the driveway, and I know they're home. Like, I don't know, I've become very in tune. I use it for all sorts of different reasons, but primarily it's a security thing. If someone walks into the gate you walk around and think strategically about where you want to put them.
Mhm.
You know, and where is the most vulnerable points of your house are, or where would you like to catch someone before they get to another spot? You know, and then hammer it up there, and like you can tilt it, you can adjust it up or down and side to side, so you can create the range in front of the space. And they definitely work. They definitely really, you know, at night you can see it there, you can see that it lights up. It's got like a flashlight. So if someone comes in the view, the whole thing lights up just like a floodlight would.
So it's disconcerting to the bad guys as well. That's an interesting thing.
It's right. It's a deterrent. I mean, if they see that and they know some of them, and I've seen plenty of like Bannockburn listserv, the next door thing where it's like, you know, so this went off on my ring bell at 3 a.m. They're bold. They do penetrate. They don't care if there's a ring bell, even though they're like standing right at the door like this. You know, they still like go in and rob a house. Steal a car.
I mean, some idiot kids in the neighborhood stole an American flag. This was probably 3-4 months ago. And the homeowner has a video of who the kids are and posted it on the chat. And it's like, whose kids are these? Tell them to remove our flag and not to be little idiots. I mean, they were high school kids. Well, you know, people are like, well, why are you showing pictures of these kids? It's like, wait a minute, this kid was on my property, stole my property, and I haven't reported him to the police, but I could. So leave me alone and get your kids to apologize and return the flag. It was crazy. I mean, people are nuts. I never post on the chat because of that. It's like, what are you thinking, guys?
Yeah.
Like, they have no business at this house. They have no business stealing flags. Tell them to go home.
All right, people, we are at the end of our hour. We have many more things that we will fix that are wrong with the world next Monday. But for right now, how's everyone on their soup?
Good.
Yeah?
That's good.
All right.
Who's coming to my house tomorrow? One.
I'm gonna go to Silver Spring. I've been
Okay.
intrigued.
She's converted for now. She's
Yes.
intrigued. We'll see if she's.
Okay, you be intrigued. That's good. And Joyce, you'll appear on Wednesday or Thursday or sometime later in the week. I got it.
All
Okay.
right, you all are the best. Have a
Thank you,
great
Deb.
week. You're welcome. Have a good
Bye,
week.
everyone.
Bye.
And Lisa, knock on my door so that you can see the pot. Okay? Okay,
We're working a drug deal here. Now what?
great.
Get your ring bell.
I'm gonna